Good evening and welcome to Rebels Radio latest interview. I am joined today reflecting on the victory against Chertsey at home, which has sealed playoff football for Slough Town. How are you, Neil?
Yeah, relieved, I think, John.
Yeah, it wasn't the prettiest 90 minutes of football.
No, it wasn't. We knew it was going to be tough. Listen, Chertsey are that type of side that they will dig in and they will try and get a result. And we knew that their management team would try and get them up for it because we know them quite well and we know that they weren't going to lay down and die. And in those types of games, you've got to try and get yourself in front early. And if you do, you can sometimes get a few. But the longer it goes on, the harder it becomes. And that's what it was today. I mean, it wasn't a great performance, but it was job done. We've got the 3 points that we needed, that were necessary to secure the playoffs. And listen, we've got to give the lads their plaudits for the last 3 months and over the course of the season, because we've finished with 83 points and we've finished fifth in the league.
There was some people saying that Chertsey just turn up and roll over. Credit to them, they didn't. They, early on they were creating a few scares. Yeah,
we went in at half time. We were very critical at half time. We didn't feel we had enough tempo about us, and we felt that take away maybe Warren had a chance, and I can't remember. Yeah, he hit the post, and we had another one or two sort of half chances. I felt that they had some good chances first half, and I thought we were the orchestrators of their chances a lot of the time. We were a little bit susceptible at the back, and I don't think we'd taken enough control, and we gave them a couple of chances. But to be fair, second half we had the wind with us, and it was pretty much us going forward, and sort of a case when we were going to score. They didn't really create much at all second half. So, listen, fair play to them. They come and had a go. They did the league justice by doing that.
Was the nerves at all for the players? Was there that pressure felt? There's obviously a big crowd today at Holloway's.
Yeah, I think so. You're there to be shot up when you're playing a side that have just been relegated, and you need a win to get into the playoffs. I think the players, they sensed. I think. At the anticipation, the nervousness of the crowd, ourselves, and you're bound to be a little bit nervous, because if we hadn't have got in, it would have been very disappointing. But the fact is, they stuck to their task. They've seen out the game a 1-0 win, and now I think the pressure's off us now. I don't think anyone's now necessarily expecting us to go in and beat Rugby and one of Kettering and Daventry if we were to beat them. So I think the pressure's off us now, and we can play with a bit of fluency and hopefully try and cause a shock, because Rugby are the favourites.
Going in, obviously a little bit easier off the back of the win because Barton lost, which meant that you could have afforded to draw or lose, but going on for a win's a more positive frame set to do that. Who were your strong performers today on there for Slough?
There wasn't loads of top performances. We picked out Jamie McClurg at half time, more so because of his work rate and his desire. He wanted to win the game, and felt that he sort of tried to push people through. I wouldn't say that we had any real standout performances today. I thought there was a number that weren't quite at the races, and I believe that the pitch has a bit to do with that, and also the nervousness of trying to get in the playoffs. So I think you'll see a different side to us. I think you'll see a side that's been so good in the last 3 months. I think you'll see that side on Tuesday night, and we'll go to Rugby and give it a right old go.
Yes, looking ahead to Rugby, what's the latest squad situation? Obviously, you made a few changes during the game. Were any of them injury-led? Was any of them protecting legs? What was the decision there?
No injury problems from today's game. Ryan Parsons trained, and he was doing some running and also striking of the ball. We're fairly confident that he might come through. So that would be a big plus for us, because Ryan's been excellent. So hopefully we'll have him. We'll have Adam Cornell back in the squad as well. So we should be going into it in pretty good shape. Obviously no Scott Harris still, and no Adam Fowler, but we should be going in pretty good shape. So fingers crossed.
Any other players unavailable for Tuesday? Obviously, it's a difficult time. It's a long trip up to Rugby. People have to finish early and.
Yeah, we've got a bit of a problem potentially with Dan Sintim. I think Dan's a teacher, and sort of he's based over Croydon way. It might be tough for him. We're doing what we can with that one, so we'll wait and see. But other than that, I think most of the others should be fine. We're gonna leave relatively early, probably about 3:30. We're going to go up on the coach together and stop and have some food, so hopefully we'll be there in plenty of time, and we're going to give it our best shot.
Two very differing experiences against Rugby. Obviously went up to Butlins earlier in the season, had a great experience. Eddie scored 4 goals, comfortable winners there. More recently, Rugby have come into a bit of rich form, as you alluded to earlier, and won comprehensively despite the 2-1 scoreline last week at Holloway's. What do you say to the lads ahead of the game?
Well, we know it's going to be tough. Rugby have been a good side for the last 2 years, and I have to say they tore us to pieces last Saturday. I thought they were excellent. We know we need to step it up, but obviously we went there early on in the season and won 4-0. However, I still maintain that I don't think that was a 4-0 game. I thought we took our chances on the day and we were pretty ruthless. So we know it's going to be very difficult, but it's a proper stadium. There'll be a good crowd. The pitch should be decent. Hopefully, it'll be a good game of football. And listen, we've got plenty of belief in our players that we can go up there and get a result. But obviously, we know Rugby can be a tough nut to crack.
And it is a cup final in every sense of the world. It's winner takes all, goes on to the next stage. So 2 cup finals to go. Where do you see Slough? Are you confident that you can get promotion?
Well, you've always got to remain positive. We know it's going to be hard. There's 4 good sides in the playoffs. They're 4 strong sides. Listen, we'll go and give it our best shot and hope that we can go and beat Rugby. But as you say, it is a cup final. Not even going to look beyond that one at the moment. We'll just we'll go up to Rugby and work hard and see what happens. And if we can get the result, then you're potentially 1 game away from step 3 football.
What did you make of the crowd finally today at Holloway's? There was a good number there. The weather conditions were good. There was an awful lot of youngsters and the whole Slough community coming together.
Yeah, I mean, that was brilliant. Mark Betts had arranged to get all the youth teams up there, and there was parents and coaches and things like that, and that's great. That's what we should be doing as a club. We should be integrating the kids and getting as many people involved as possible, and that's brilliant. From our point of view, I think there was just under 400 there, paying guests, I believe, and obviously there's probably 80 or 90 youngsters in there as well. So we're pleased with that, and we just hope we get as many as we can to travel to Rugby. We know it's going to be difficult, but the support will be much appreciated from the lads, and hopefully they'll spur us on.
And finally, nice to put a penalty away.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, Johnny's record is actually pretty good on penalties, so I think he's probably taken the mantle now. It was a bit of a scuff.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shinner, but no. Listen, if the keeper goes the wrong way, you say it's a good penalty, and listen, he had the nerve to stand up and take it, and he put it away, and it's ended up with 3 points.
So, irrespective from here, now whatever happens with the playoff result, would you consider this a successful season?
Yeah, listen, our aim was to get ourselves into the playoffs in our first year. It wasn't achieved last year. Whether it was the FA Cup run that killed them or what, they didn't end up getting in the playoffs, which would have been the key thing at the start of the season, or to at least win it. So the fact that we've got into the playoffs, we've now given ourselves a chance, and that's all you can do by getting in the playoffs. You give yourself a chance. We've got that chance where you win 2 games, you're up. And, so from my point of view, it's been successful on the basis that we've had a lot of issues, a lot of problems this year, and at one point I thought we were completely gone, but the lads have dug deep, and I'm absolutely delighted that we've made the playoffs.
And then finally, Dunstable champions, worthy champions.
I'm delighted, for them. At the end of the day, I always say whoever finishes top of the league deserves to, finish top of the league. They've played 42 games and they've won the league by a point. So, you've got to take your hats off to them. They gave us a tough game at their place when we beat them 3-2. When they beat us 3-2, and we gave them a tough game at our place. You always look at it and think, oh yeah, we beat them 4-0, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. They've ended up getting 7 points more than us, and over the course of the season they've been the better side. So fair play to them. They've obviously come up from step 5 last year. It's obviously reported that they've got a few quid there as well, and good luck to them. It's a nice little setup, and I hope they do well next year.
And hopefully we'll still be playing them next year. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Look forward to speaking to you hopefully after Tuesday. Looking forward to a game next Monday.
Lovely. Cheers, John.
Thank you.